So great catching up with my next guest. He's got a big opportunity coming up here, August 22nd, Dana White's Contender Series. It's Robbie Ring back here on the program. Robbie, how are you?
I'm doing well. Happy to be here and just enjoying all of this.
Yeah, it's well deserved, man. We've done interviews before. It's sort of inevitable an opportunity like this would happen. I know you kind of expected it, but when did you find out? It looked like you got plenty of notice.
Yeah, so I ended up getting a call, I guess probably about a month ago, a little over a month. Somebody had backed out for week 3 of the Contender Series, and my manager, Jason House with Iridium Sports, sent me a text, and he asked if I was ready to go. And of course, I said yes. This is what I've been working towards.
I know it's not the UFC yet. I mean, you win this fight and look impressive, then that's certainly the goal. But who did you tell when you found out the news? Because again, this is just one step to the big step, right?
Yeah, so I recently just got married to my beautiful wife.
I saw that. Congratulations. I would imagine the wife's the first one, right? Yeah.
Yes, she was with me, and I looked at her, and I think we might have did a little bit of a happy dance right there in the living room. I was shocked that it was, this early on the Contender Series, but like you said, I was kind of looking towards getting to the Contender Series this year. So after that, I told my mom and my dad, my coaches, and they were just as happy for me as I was.
Yeah, and like we said, we sort of knew this was going to happen. You've been outstanding. Your record 6-0, man. I mean, it's the exact type of record they're looking for on the show. They're going to international this year on Contender Series, so not as many opportunities for Americans. But you're fighting an international guy. He's 7-1. What do you know about him? How do you feel like you match up against him here?
Yeah, I'm fighting Luis Pajeulo. He's from Peru. I've watched a lot of film on him. I think that he's a great fighter. I think that he's a brawler. I've not really seen too much out of his ground game, so I feel like that's going to be a big advantage for me in this fight because most of my wins have came from submission. We've been working a lot of strike in this fight camp, so I've been telling people don't be surprised if you see a knockout on Dana White's Contender Series from me.
Yeah, I know it's got fireworks written all over it. Camp, I know we still have a little bit of time here. Obviously, 20 seconds just right around the corner. But how has camp looked? Who have you mainly got a chance to work with ahead of this big opportunity?
So camp's been going fantastic. It's my best fight camp to date. I've been really focusing on a lot of strength and conditioning. We've been doing some different stuff with that, getting prepared for, to go as hard as we can for 3 5-minute rounds and not gas out. My cardio's always been pretty good, but it's going to be next level for this fight. I've done all of my training here at home at my home gym, Ring Combat Sports. We've been bringing in some regional professional fighters to help me to kind of emulate Pajuelo. I've been getting a lot of training in with Austin Cooper. He's an up-and-coming amateur fighter out of Virginia. He's 10-0 as an amateur. And he fights a lot like the guy I'm getting ready to fight. So we've been putting in a lot of work together preparing for this.
Good. A lot of different looks by the sounds of it, which is great. And, when you think of Contender Series, you think of guys that have to go out there and perform and do well. You've never even been to the third round in your career. Do you feel like this is kind of tailor-made for you? I mean, you're a guy that does not like getting paid by the hour.
Oh, yeah. Dana White's, he's constantly said every week of the Contender Series, you want the contract, go out and look for a finish. And I've got a lot of ways to win a fight. I've got the striking. But once we hit the ground, I'm not just looking to lay on top of somebody. I'm looking to get them in a choke or a joint lock and make them give up. So I think that Dana White's going to like my style.
How much as well do you factor in who you fought on the regional scene? And credit to Aries and Valor and all the promotions you fought for, Showcase. I remember when we did our interview back then. It's pretty cool to see you get these opportunities against good opponents. I'll just give you a quick example. Jacob Kilburn, UFC vet. I mean, to get to fight a guy like that and then have that confidence of getting a win there, how much does that help going into this? It's not like you've been fighting guys with subpar records, right?
Oh yeah, it's great to have that experience, and these guys that I was fighting, Jacob Kilburn, for instance, he's been there and done that. Yeah. He's been on the Contender Series. He's fought on the UFC. He fought in Abu Dhabi, so he was a great matchup for me. And I credit Tim Loy and Jeff Hobbs with Aries Fight Series. They were always giving me. I told them, I said, give me the toughest guys that you have around here. And they did, and I feel like that's going to make me fully prepared to go to the UFC Apex and put on a good performance.
I know we got a bit of time here. Weight cut going well. I mean, again, you had plenty of notice. You always make weight, right?
Yeah, weight cut's going great. I'm actually the lowest weight that I've ever been for a 145-pound fight. We've just
Nice.
been working hard. It's hot in Virginia right now, so getting these workouts in, getting a good sweat. Honestly, I don't think that I'm going to have any weight to cut. I think that I'm going to go out to Vegas and work out a few times and be on weight, which will make me feel good on fight day.
Who's making the trip with you to Vegas as far as your corner?
My mom and my dad, both of them are going to be in my corners. I think
Nice.
that it's the Contender Series first. I mean, guys that's got their dad in their corner as their head coach.
Yeah, or wife or significant other, but parents. That's pretty cool, man. I have heard of dads. I know Devin Clark used to have his dad in his corner, right, as an example. But yeah.
Yeah, but I've got both. I've got my mom and my dad. So, in my opinion, I'm biased, but I think I've got two of the best corners in the game that's going to be in there with me.
Yeah, nobody knows you better than your parents and your wife, obviously, too. Got to mention her. How's
Yes,
this
sir.
fight playing out? Again, you do not go out there. You've never seen the third round. Are we going to see? How do you see this one going down?
Honestly, like I said, I could foresee a knockout. I could see me catching him with something early. I know that I have a speed advantage in this fight, but I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so if it gets to the ground, I get to his back. I don't see him getting up off of his back without him tapping out first. So, we've been working a lot of ground game, getting to the back, sinking in chokes, and I think that he's kind of prone to giving his back up, so I could see a submission.
What do you think about, again, the goal is you get the contract. You're in the featherweight division of the UFC. What do you think of the division right now? It's kind of changed a bit in the sense that, you have a lot of these newer guys like Ilia Topuria, and you've got, obviously, Arnold Allen and so many. You still got Holloway there right at the top, right? He's going to be fighting in a little bit here. Just how excited are you to potentially be a part of that, really exciting division, one of the most exciting in the UFC?
Oh yeah, it's a stacked division in the UFC right now. Like I tell people all the time that I'm glad that I'm in the smaller weight classes of MMA fighting because that's where you see everything come together: technique, speed, strength. And like I said, when I get to the UFC, I want to fight the best. I want to fight those fights that people say, "Oh, Robbie Ring can't beat that guy," and then I go in there and handle business. So I'm just looking forward to it. I want to get if I win this contract on August 22nd, I want to get in there and get my feet wet as soon as I can. So I've worked my whole life for this, so why not go and test the waters early?
You mentioned the wedding. How did everything go? It seemed like kind of tell from the photos everything kind of went a-okay, but how was it looking back?
Oh yeah, it was great. It was a quiet little wedding. All we wanted to do is just two people in love and get married. So that's exactly what happened.
Did you guys get a honeymoon at all, or are you saving that for later?
Yeah, we did. We got to go to Florida. We
Nice.
went for 4 days, and I told the wife, I said, "Well, I got to get back. I got work to get done." So
Yeah.
it was a good little rest right in the middle of fight camp that I got to rest my body, and then right back to the grind when we got back.
And that's one of the perks of the UFC as well. Is, I mean, like, they go all over the world. Like the traveling possibilities must be pretty cool. That's another bonus to being on the UFC roster.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to that. I've always said since I was a young kid that I wanted to travel and fight in different countries. So hopefully with a win on the 22nd, maybe they'll send me to Brazil or the UK or somewhere like that. That would be awesome.
And what's downtime looking like during camp right now? Are you getting any Netflix or video games or anything? Like, what are you doing to kind of, obviously you're obsessed with fighting and you're doing the training camp to the fullest, but what are you doing when you get that little bit of free time?
Oh yeah, after training, and I just love spending time with my wife. And here lately, we have been getting into a huge America's Got Talent kick.
Okay,
So
cool.
I've been binge watching the new season of that. It makes me kind of sound like an old man, but that's what I like to do in my
Hey,
free
listen,
time.
old man is good. It's basic. It's simple. You're not out there, partying or doing anything you shouldn't be doing, right? So.
Yes, sir. So, just relaxing at home and resting the body, focusing on my recovery, and then wake up and go right back to the grind.
And we're looking forward to it, man. Dana White's Contender Series, August 22nd. Like I mentioned, it is right around the corner. Robbie, thanks for doing this, man. We're looking forward to the fight. If there's anyone you'd like to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
All right. First off, I just want to give all the glory to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I always say that he's blessed me with a work ethic and the ability to push my body to the limits. And during my practices, he's gave me a strong mind. Next, I want to thank my management company, Iridium Sports Agency. They really have taken my career to the next level. I'm just a small kid from the Appalachian Mountains, and they've got me one step closer to fighting in the biggest stage in the world for MMA. So, huge shout out to them. Back 40 Storage, Varney Construction, Chris Fox at Berkshire Hathaway, and Anytime Fitness. Thank you all for your support of me. If you guys want to follow me on social media, it's Razor Robbie Ring on Facebook and Razor Rob MMA on Instagram.